walk in your midst. That thing rings bell in my head every day. Àwọn òbí ẹrẹ tí Mr. Salami bá yọ. Gbogbo èṣù tó gbé mi, you will swallow it tó bá dá ẹyin ni wọ́n fẹ́ náà mi pa. But eventually after, there's a difference between when a teacher is a disciplinarian and when he's wicked or evil. Because my dad too, I don't want to say was a teacher, he's still a teacher. People still go to him first. You see, then gone. But when we now sit back, because so many things they taught us that we are still enjoying now. Unlike a teacher that will, because we are telling what you want to pay, I'm a school inspector, you or we are telling what you pay, you pay, why is your man to be telling what you are average person in the society? The hatred is just there. What I'm just trying to tell the teacher is that anything we sow, we will reap. A teacher, I put him at primary school. My dad was a teacher then, and one Alhaji Olusola is late now. That year he came to last week, he wanted to collect his result. He was walking up the staircase and I was coming from behind. So I allowed him to finish. So when I said, Madam, kí ló dé sá? Ọmọ yín ni mí. Ó ní ọmọ yín báwo? Mo náà mọ̀ Alhaji Bishop. Oh, he said, ọ̀rẹ́ mi, ọ̀gá mi, wait, I said, he's still alive. Only I'm proud of him. That's why the fact that we are colleagues, that your dad was a very nice one. That time I was traveling on Hajj, the man paid half of my fare. He said, since I cannot reach out to your dad, let me reach out to you. Part of my traveling expenses, the man paid half. So, and on the long run, I met him outside the country too. I saw the way the students, and he was supposed to put on, unfortunately his students had already paid for his hotel accommodation. So one of the students just saw him at the airport. Apadi Mr. Jibulu ní airport ṣá. Before 1 or 2 weeks ní US, àwọn tó lọ bá àwọn yẹn lọ́wọ́ mú wọn ní hotel. The student said he cannot leave the place. So please teachers, it's true. Àwọn ọmọ yẹn wọ́n ní atọ́ni ní sùúrù Ọlọ́run fún wa ń sùúrù atọ́ni ní sùúrù náà wà o. But anything we are let's just do it pé tá bá nírú ọmọ yẹn náà ní ọmọ ànípa o tó bá jẹ́ ọmọ ẹ̀gbọ́n ọmọ àbúrò wa. So what I'm saying is that if the dad was evil, then we will not call her. That's why the father is her. Whether she's alone, then who call her? So it's a lesson for all the people.
In my university, hello? Oh, are you tired? In my university, on that day, we call it the convocation day, the day of graduation. They will hand up, they hold the mic and say, here are the graduates. And then they begin to march. Stand up, stand up. You know that song, for the champion, stand up. Stand up, sing. If you want to be a champion, sing it very well. Go. Yes. Yes. Again. Yeah, let me see you. Yes, let me see you. Oh. Raise your hand. Let me see you. You are going to be a champion. You are going to impact your society, your community. Be a proud EGOSA member. Yes. That's good. For the champion. Thank you. Sit down. That's where we are getting you to. Education for peace, for security. As we are imparting knowledge, doing our best. Talking about the curriculum, how we can, modify the curriculum to make it what it ought to be. You must also make up your mind to be a responsible citizen. That you grow up and you can live with other people around you. They can see that you are not, we are not interested in graduating educated riffraffs. Have you heard that? I got some things I thought we don't have a projector. You can see so many things. That would have made my speech very, very, short. Just the slides. But we don't have that today. You would have seen some things. Education for peace, for security. That's where we are taking you to. If at the end of time, we are not achieving that with you, then there is a problem. Now, begin to look inward. Begin to look inward. What are those things you are doing now? What is the cover. And you flaunt your front size and flaunt, some people, they'll be walking as if they say they are cats walking, that kind of a thing. It's good to be fashionable. It's good to be beautiful. But when you go there, you are shaking some things, you are shaking those things forcefully. Then the boy will come and say, yeah, I like this one. I want to rape her. That will not be me. That will not be me. I said that will not be me. There are some things you do that will not bring about peace. Some boys, they are not here. Once they see a girl that is not well dressed, a girl that is exposing her body parts, they look at it. You know them. They look like this. And they say, I must get her. And then before we know it, that one ends up in jail. What's the level? What education have you achieved? Education that is not bringing peace to you, that is not bringing peace to your fellow man. And like I said before, it starts from now. All this boyfriending and girlfriending. And remember in some schools, I don't want to mention, in some places, they fight over boys. Any local girlfriend, any local girlfriend here. Very nauseating. Very nauseating. And they're fighting. Over one boy, 6 girls fighting, or 4 boys fighting over one girl. If you are doing like that, then what's the essence of the education you have come to acquire? And at the end of time, you are not able to make it to where you're supposed to make it to. So what are we having here? Why do we have all the burnings and killings and bombings all over the places? Why? The kind of education we are giving you should be able to help us live together harmoniously. If we are not doing so, there is a problem. Begin to look at yourself and tell yourself, the education I'm getting today is to help me to live, to have peace within me and peace around me, and then give out peace to other people and ensure that they are secure around me. That is it. So that at the end of the day, as you stretch forth your hand to collect the certificate at the end of time, the certificate will read that you are worthy in character and in learning. What we see all around now, that students are worthy in learning, but they are not worthy in character. Okay, that's why you see a graduate, even somebody who has been to university, somebody who has been to school, who is learned, who is educated, you see that person still committing certain atrocities. Be careful. Let me just let you know this. Don't allow anything to distract you from the reasons you have come here. Be focused. Now, if you have your head filled up with, I love that boy. When I open my book, I see him there. When I open my English textbook, is the passage I am reading. Without him, there is no comprehension. Oh my God. When I open my mathematics book, there is no algebra. What I see there is zebra. And when I see zebra, I don't see him. But when I see him, it's all in all. In the cup of tea, I see him. You are running mad little by little, God forbid. How will you be able to concentrate on the reasons you are here? And we are talking about education for peace. You don't even have peace yourself. Anytime you see that boy, your heart will do like this. It jumps, it skips. And that boy sees you, it jumps, it skips. And then now you are madly in love. It's the love of my life. The sugar in my tea, the head in my envelope, the hand in my iPad, the whatever. And let me just tell you as I want to round off now. Make sure you have peace within you and peace around you. You say, now listen, that boy tells you, or you tell that boy, you are the sugar in my tea. What happens to sugar? When you eat too much sugar, what happens? Somebody say something beautiful here. Oh, diabetes. Okay. I will do something before I do. What's your name? Peter Divine. Okay. Now, this diabetes, too much sugar. And then the boy has come before you to say, you have sugar in my tea. Once he's tired of you, you become diabetic to him. You face out. You are the egg in my egg roll. When you buy egg roll and you eat, what happens later? You pass it out as what? Excreta. It means that there is one day you are going to expire. You will end up in the toilet. That boy will not be able to look at you again. And now you are crying. He has jilted me. In my university there, a lot of girls will come around. Even boys. I'm telling you the truth. I have spent the whole of my life on this young lady. Now we're in the final year. What you beg of me, And so you don't have peace within. How can you also get peace out there with other people? And when you are aggressive, when you are depressed, as you go out there, any little thing you want to fire up, you want to beat up, you want to show that you are not happy. So the education we are giving you should be all round. When I know the stakeholders are here, taking care of every aspect of life, human, social, whatever, every aspect of human life that must be all around. The other time, our president said, why should they remove moral instruction from the curriculum, history from the curriculum? Many of you don't know the history. The song, we are the one, we are the children. If you know the source, we are the one to make a better day, so let's start giving. Do you know what you are giving? You have to give out something. If you want to make the future a better thing, a better one for you. And then at the end of the day, it comes back to you. It was because we came here. We listened to our teachers. They taught us. We listened. We followed them. And there are some teachers that are teaching you today. Look at their lifestyles. Look at their wonderful behavior, their conduct and comportment. I remember today Mr. Tunde Odubode, who was my English literature teacher, the impact that he had on me. I remember today the late Mrs. Pasheda, you know, when the students were singing choral group. I remember I used to be in the front, and then I was the one leading. And now in my church, I'm the choir mistress for my region. The things you do today, they will come back to you in future. There's no more time for me to go on. I love you all. Don't forget what I've told you. Now you can see that Epe Grammar School is the best. Up school!
Wow, are you not clapping? Now, let us do something for our mommy. I want you to say this. People at Ayetoro. Wait now, are you people hungry? I can't hear your voice now. What's happening? Are you not happy that she came? Okay, let's do it for the last time. Old school! Should we do it one more time? Yes. Junior school students, should we do it one more time? Yes. Senior school students, should we do it one more time? Yes. Old school! Yeah. You know? You people want to trap me this afternoon because they work. DJ wait. I'm so proud of this man. Let me come out of my shell now. And I'm also a lecturer in the English department of Lagos State University of Education. Yeah! You are an OU. I want to go. Mommy, I love you. I appreciate you, man. You people should not be jealous. It's none of my business if you went to Epe Grammar School. You cannot stop me from loving who I want to love. It's none of business. While she was making her address, everybody, they brought in the police to come and arrest me. But I later found out that he is not a police officer. More inspiring is the fact that he is also an old student of this school. You see, policemen or security officials and pressmen, they are brothers and sisters. So, there's no how. If I say S3 record, they understand that, oh, okay. They will not do anything to me. I know I have said a lot of things today to warrant me being arrested and bundled out of this place. But I'm very sure that you will not allow that. And the chairman too, because I'm his son. He may not remember, but your children at July Ministry of Primary School were together. Senior Bimpe, Bayo, and the rest. So I was small then, but I still recognize your face, Daddy. And I'm sure you're proud of me too. Yeah, thank you, sir. you people, you don't let me talk too much. So let's start together for Assistant Controller, Alhaja Olusola Alade-Raji. You people should do like this. It's like this to you. It's saluting you. Now look at it. Is it not handsome? Oh, sir, please, sir, can you stand up? Are you not proud of him? Are you not proud of him? Is it not gallant? Is it not I'll go and change my profession. Sit down, sit down. Sir, if there's small chance, maybe you should just take me. But me, I don't have power to carry gun. That's the problem I have. I don't know how to carry gun. I should come and enroll in the Epe Grammar School. What kind of oppression is this? Okay, wait, students. Let me ask you one question. Between
at the assembly, then he said, if you hold
of EGOSA towards the growth and development of students of Epe Grammar School, to the glory of God, for mankind and humanity. We are going to count, or we are going to spell EGOSA, Abi, and at the count of A, we cross the K. Are we ready? Are you ready to spell? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. EGOSA. Happy birthday!
My name is Alhaja Olusola Alade-Raji, National President of Epe Grammar School.
Okay, we can see that you just had second edition of Student Days for your alma mater. How do you feel?
I give God all the glory, because we never knew it would eventually come up. With all the struggles here and there, distractions, alhamdulillah, it came to reality.
Okay, do you have people you want to appreciate?
First of all, I want to appreciate the Almighty for making it a reality. I want to appreciate all EGOSANs wherever they are, that is home and abroad. They have done wonderfully well. And it's right from the time I assumed office, I've always been enjoying their support, their favor, and I pray God will continue to appreciate.
I can see that.
And the planning committee too, they have done a very good job. I appreciate it. And thanks to the school too for their underground support.
In your address, you talk about Lagos State government giving a good recognition to your alma mater as due to the effort of the Old Students Association. So what exactly do you want from the government?
Let me say, at least the best Old Students Association in the world, not only in Epe or anywhere. Because EGOSA's dream, we eat, we drink Epe Grammar School. Everything about an average EGOSAN is to give back to the alma mater. So, like, we still have some pending things to attend to in the school. Like almost all the school friends are gone. At least if not for the intervention of our neighborhood students during the 70th anniversary, most things are at least as journalists, you people have been here and know what it is now. And we will continue to beg or appeal to the Lagos State government to come and intervene in some projects. There's so many things we are not doing, especially with this shift or hard economy. You see, people are just trying to give back, but at least only government can do more or better. So we are, and again, they should appreciate, they should recognize all students. Lagos State government should have a way of celebrating Epe Grammar School Students Association. At least I joined this association at least about 30-something years ago, and we have been doing extremely well. All we do is to give back to the school. You see people that pass out from this school 40, 50 years ago. All they still want to do is to give back to this association. So it's enough for any government to appreciate them. In Yoruba we say, yes, when all students of this school, we are appreciated, when we are recognized. I mean, we continue to do more, even though we are now waiting for that to give back to our alma mater. We continue to do it, but at least government should in a way recognize this particular student association.
Thank you very much. Do you have a message from the school authority or parents?
I have a message for the parents association of this school. I keep saying it. All students is not a charity organization or association. If we, at least 80% of all students don't have children here or their wards, but we keep it, the PTA should be in the front line while we follow them, not leaving 100% of everything in the hands of those students. At the time, if we get to a time that we'll be fed up, just be looking, I pray it doesn't get to that. The parents association of both the senior and junior should come to the intervention of their children. We don't, even in advanced countries, we don't leave everything in the hands of the government. Let the truth be told. We don't leave everything in the hands of the government. Let people from the little they have. I mean, you don't have to build a whole building for the school for you. I mean, even if it's maybe provision of solar lights, provision of security, provision of amenities for the students. I mean, they should let their children know they have the back of their parents, not relying on the students for everything. Everything they want the students to do. Things don't run that way. We all belong to different associations. We belong to other families, and so there are so many things that we want to do to not only Epe Grammar School. You will be surprised that we don't even have time to attend to the welfare of EGOSA. It's all about giving back to Epe Grammar School. Even as home students, we are not enjoying any welfare because everything is on giving back to the school. So the PTA too should at least sit down and see what they can give back to the children. It's their children that are benefiting from this, not we.
Thank you very much.
Good day, ma'am. Good day, sir. I'm Alhaja Favor. I'm here to give you a convincing spoken word on Children's Day. We are the voices, learning every day for our children. We are the voices to learn for our speak. We are the voices learning to speak. The dreams that wake when the world sleeps. We are the footsteps light on the ground, but in our hearts a trumpeting sound. To all teachers who are not cheap, to all students who stand independent, to all young adults who need correction, find fault, to all occupations who pursue their applications, and to all those students who in support build us stronger, and to everyone who in unity is one. I greet you. Welcome. Do you see us in school there?
Thank you.
ìwà ìdájọ́ náà pé òun àpá ìwé olùkọ́ ni ẹ̀kọ́ lọ́ba fún ní ìdánwò tó ìran ìjọba. Alùpùpù alájọba tún ní àti kàní. Ẹ̀pá pàrọ̀ rẹ̀ ọ̀nà òun pàṣẹ o. Òbí ìjọba ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ó lè náà ní òun yẹ kó sábẹ̀ ìṣẹ̀kọ̀. Ọmọ ìdáyẹ̀dáyẹ̀ ló fi ń ṣe. Ọmọ tó bá fọwọ́ ìṣe ẹ̀kọ́ pé oníjọ́kọ̀ṣẹ̀ ìdánwò. Ọmọ ìlẹ̀kọ́ olùkọ́ ìdánwò ní ìṣẹ́ ló fẹ́ kọ́ ni. Owó ló fẹ́
So you have started singing since secondary school. Don't worry, you will blow, say amen. You will blow, say amen. Epe Grammar School, you don't allow.
Face it.
yourself, sir?
Master Controller of Customs,
Okay.
Yeah, a former student of, I'm co-student of Epe Grammar School.
Set.
95-2001 set, and I happen to be the senior prefect at that time.
So now we can see that you have been here celebrating your successors in school as you are celebrating your matter. What do you have to say concerning EGOSA and your message to the parents and school authority?
EGOSA is a wonderful place to be. I've been a very active participant. Last year that we had the Children's Day, I was there too. And of course, I had a lot of contributions that I had to make to the program. It's because of the passion that we have for the alma mater. The alma mater made a lot of us In fact, a lot of people have passed through this alma mater, and it is just a way of giving back to the children, for them to understand that when they come into the world field, they are going to do similar thing for the children that will be in the school. So, and that's the message for the parents. Let your children understand that the value in appreciating the school that they attend. The core value of coming here to the
Okay, so what's your message to those people? Because you are a role model to these students, and seeing you in this uniform, they are encouraged. So what's your message to those parents that don't value the education of their children, they don't do the right thing?
I wouldn't think it's right for any parent not to value the education of the children. If you see me in this regalia, I will tell you that, okay, I'm proud to come here today and appreciate my school. Anywhere I go, I'm always saying our school so that people will understand that this is where I was made. And it is something that every parent should encourage. They should make sure that they take value in educating their children very well. You never know where that child will be tomorrow and how it will turn out to be. So they have to put more effort in educating them, making sure that not just educating them academically, but moral standards too. And Epe Grammar School has it. In fact, looking back, I was looking back at some of the things that we do while we were in school, and I was thinking of, as we were there, my teacher came in, and I was looking at him like, this is one of the people that made me, that shaped me to who I am today. And thank God for that. It's because of the kind of education that the parents are able to give. So every parent takes premium on education.
Lastly from us, sir, we discovered that this school, EGOSA in particular, has done a lot for this school, and your set also 2001, am I right? Yes, 2001. So you have done a lot too. So what's the message to the government? Because it seems you are even doing more than government in this school.
The government needs to put in more effort. Because I look at some of the classroom blocks, and I see that they are still the way they are there, although they are the new block they are working. But then looking at the children, I do not see them being properly fed. The government needs to do more about coming to inspect to see that things are being done properly and providing, because when you have a conducive environment, the children will learn, and the academic performance of the children will improve. So government needs to pay more attention to the children.
Thank you very much.
My name is Assistant Controller of Custom.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'm Alhaja Olusola Alade-Raji. That is the Vice President of Epe Grammar School, National. And as well as the chairman of the committee on Children Day celebration. When this executive came in last year, something of that nature is not in existence, but we introduced it last year. That was the main reason, and we feel we should continue to encourage this children. We are doing this to give back to our community, the community that we are. Whatever we are today, we participate and the spirit of giving back to our community. So that this school will continue to grow from strength to strength. And the only way this school can grow from strength is the students, they are saying what we are doing. So when they too leave this school, they know they have to go back. They left this school over 40 years ago. And here we are still competing. Look around what the students did a lot. I was here yesterday in preparation today to see the principal of junior school and the senior school. The principal of junior school was telling me that this school hosts a meeting of principal in the whole state, and it was held here in Kenya. He said the principal from all secondary schools said when they got it, they were surprised. Is this where they call Epe Grammar School? Even those of them that are not one sentence, their school premises are not as good as this. And he said, he told them, it's not the making of the government alone. 80% of it are done by those who that is what we are trying to do. And we thank God for thumbs up today and for success. I pray by next year will be more.
So what's your message to the parents and the school authorities?
My parents and the school authorities is that they should continue to invite discipline into the children. Like the second thing the speaker said, give instruction, let instruction be based around the school. And when the students are passing through the inscription of the word, they know the authority is talking to them. And then all the children that cannot obey the rules and regulations of the school. Oh, so that this school will continue to maintain standards. We are just saying that maybe state government can return these students to the school. Because we are this school belongs to Epe Division. Most of our children are not here. I don't have any what my children are not here. My grandchildren are not here. So that is the spirit of giving back to the community. Then we still want to have indigents as children in this school. And the only way that can boost that after the boosting is by having this. This government has done so much. So that it won't be this thing we are doing, we are just doing body to non-indigent. We still have to be the indigent supposed to get 80-70%. But with the look of things, most of the students are outside, they have to go, all the time. So that is my own area. I know in our own days, we have days and we have boarding schools. We took and the assistant then, all of a sudden they don't scrap this. And that's scrapping that day affects of having numbers of high number of indigents in this which of course is not palatable to me. I'm Alhaja Olusola Alade-Raji,